like to welcome everyone to our first quarterly luncheon, our 12th annual State of the City Address that you've all come here this afternoon for. There are some folks in attendance that I would like to recognize. I'd ask that you please stand and remain standing, and then we'll show our applause at the end. We have representing Congressman John Molinar, Eric Dorian. Eric's also serving on the Midland County Board of Commissioners, so please remain standing. Eric, if you could lead the way here. Also representing United States Senator Gary Peters, we have Dylan Hellis. Thank you, Dylan. Of course, our own Mayor Maureen Donker, City of Midland. You can stand. We'll make all the boys stand. Also, our City Manager, Mr. John Lynch, City of Midland. Our Chief of Police, Cliff Block. We have county representatives also, Commissioners Scott Nosen, Commissioner Mark Bone, Commissioner James Geisler. Bridget Granson, Administrator Controller for Midland County. Also packing heat today, we got Sheriff Scott Stevenson, Midland County Sheriff. Just so you know where he's at. J.D. Brooks, Midland County Prosecutor. And Kevin High, Midland County ESA Board of Education. Please show your appreciation and our appreciation of it. Also, I'd like to ask all the other city and county employees that are in attendance here to please stand and be recognized. There are chamber announcements in the center of your table, so if you need up-and-coming events and can get those into your calendar and planners, you can see those in the center of your table and take those with you. Also, I'd like to ask all of our chamber board members to please rise and be recognized. And of course, our President and CEO of the Midland Area Chamber of Commerce and Midland Tomorrow, let's recognize Bill Allen. We'd also like to recognize our chamber champions. They are shown up here behind me, but I'd also like them to stand as they are recognized. They are Absolute Building Maintenance, Blue Cross Blue Shield of Michigan, CBM Services, Chemical Bank, the Dow Chemical Company, the Greater Midland Tennis Center, Members First Credit Union, Midland Cogeneration Venture, Midland County Convention and Visitors Bureau, Mid-Michigan Health, Northwood University, Posnack Dyer Kanau Garshaw Shesky PLC, Three Rivers Corporation, Trinseo, TriStar Trust Bank, Wildfire Credit Union, and WNEM TV5. Let's applaud their commitment to the chamber. In addition to these events, we could not host these types of things without our event sponsor, and today we're pleased to recognize Spence Brothers Construction. We've already confirmed Herb did not eat anything green on his plate, so you will find nothing in his teeth. But please welcome President and CEO from Spence Brothers Construction, Mr. Herb Spence.
Very honored to introduce our mayor for the State of the City Address. Mayor Maureen Donker is in her 9th year on Midland City Council and is serving her 4th term as mayor of our community. When not active with the City Council, the mayor serves as director of the Reese Endeavor of Midland and is a passionate and tireless advocate for her hometown. She and her husband Norm live in Midland, 2nd Ward, and have 2 children. Please help me welcome Mayor Maureen Donker.
So thanks, Herb, for the kind introduction. My thanks to my chamber friends for inviting me here today. And I also want to thank you for recognizing the city at your annual meeting with the Kerm Campbell Partnership Award. We have a wonderful staff at Midland, and we are so fortunate to have such a high caliber group of people who are taking care of our city. So if you would, please give them another round of applause. I'd I'd like to introduce my fellow council members, and you do have to stand up. Tom Adams, Ward 1. Steve Arnosky, Ward 3. Diane Brown-Wilhelm, Ward 4. And Mayor Pro Tem Marty Wospinski, Ward 5. It's an honor to serve with you. You're fun to work with, and let me assure you that they have the best interest of the community at heart. This is my 7th State of the City address, and there's no other way to begin than to talk about the concern that I think is on everyone's mind. In December, the Dow Chemical Company had 2 major announcements. They announced they were going to acquire Corning's stake in Dow Corning, and they also announced that they were going to merge with DuPont. Immediately following that announcement, Nancy Lamb and Rich Wells sat down with city leadership. They were excited about the long-term benefits of this transaction, but also very honest about the challenges that we're going to be facing as a community as we walk through what are probably going to be some difficult times. The company must find synergies to remain viable and economically sound, which means that some people are going to lose their jobs. Disruptive, unsettling, sad. All of those are feelings that came to mind. It'll be a time of uncertainty for sure. Friends and neighbors will move away. New people will come. Our balance will be tipped. Life will get uncomfortable. I was reminded of the poem by Robert Frost as I thought about this more. It's called The Road Not Taken. It begins like this. 2 roads diverged in a yellow wood, and sorry I could not travel both, and be one traveler, long I stood. Today we stand where 2 roads diverge. Which way do we go? We have 2 choices. We can approach our future with fear and trepidation, frozen in place, too afraid to move, making no changes, anticipating what might never be. Or we can approach this time with energy and renewal, with a new urgency to take on challenges that might be difficult, but will make us better. We can be people with courage to create our future, who choose optimism over defeat, who live our faith and demonstrate our caring, who envision the things gained from risk rather than the potential losses, whose only fear is letting an opportunity slip away. We must become bigger than we've been, more courageous, greater in spirit, and healthier in outlook. Midland's at a crossroads. How will we travel this path? I have a proposal. Let's do what we do so well, that our history shows that we do so well, and let's do it together. Look around you. We have incredible people in this community. They have so many great ideas and so much energy. And when you think about it, we all want to make sure that Midland is the city of choice. We have people who understand that for our businesses to remain viable, we must attract the best talent. We have people who want a safe place to live and to raise their children, and we have people who want to grow old here. We must enable all of this to happen. I'd like to read you something from a speech that I recently found. It begins like this. Whether we like it or not, community progress has become a highly competitive matter. Up to now, Midland has been successful in this competition, but we ought to recognize that the conditions of success have changed. We must realize that it will take community thought plus community effort to calculate the new conditions of success in order to stay competitive for the future. These were the words of Ted Doan, CEO of the Dow Chemical Company, grandson of Herbert and Grace A. Dow, community leader. He spoke these words in 1966 when he was addressing the Chamber of Commerce. Mr. Doan had timeless insight, and I think his words are perfectly fitting for the crossroads where we stand today. I think we can all agree that we must realize it will take community thought plus community effort to ensure our successful future. Today I'm here to tell you that your city team is here and we are ready to help lead through this uncomfortable place, working together with all of you. So what are our challenges? There's 3. We must be sufficiently disciplined as to not miss opportunities that may present themselves during this transitional period in Dow's history. We must help citizens to engage in helping Midland define and find its future. And then the 3rd challenge, I talk about this every year, finances. And every year when it comes to the budget, it gets harder than the previous year to find more savings. We are a service organization, and every year our costs go up and our revenues remain basically flat. And infrastructure. Last year, we invested significantly in infrastructure. When it comes to roads and pipes, we need to spend more money than we have available just to keep up. And legacy costs. Most communities in the state struggle with the cost of employees who have retired. These are current costs that provide no services. The price tag to us this year is $4 million. For the last 2 years, we've had no increase in city taxes. Last year, I told you that we might increase taxes, but our staff worked very hard and we were able to hold the line. But we can't keep that up indefinitely. At our planning session in January, council's directives to staff were 2. That services should remain at the highest level possible, and that a budget increase of not more than $250,000 would be ideal, but we would consider up to $500,000. Let me assure you that we will work hard to achieve the best value for the money that we have available. Now let me show you why I have the confidence that we're going to be able to address these challenges and why I think we can be more. That's your city. Now, when you look at that, we have so much to build on, so much, and so much to be proud of. So let's talk about the progress that we made last year and some of the things that I think you're going to be seeing in the future. Well, water is a topic that certainly has been in the news a lot lately. Let me say, we have great water. Back in 1948, our community leaders provided us with access to the highest quality water to assure the growth and the prosperity of Midland and our partner Saginaw. For the last 68 years, we have enjoyed high quality drinking water. And to make sure that that happens, we do 107,000 tests a year. That's 293 tests a day. We have good water, and it's our commitment to you that we will continue to provide you with high-quality, safe drinking water in abundant supply for future generations to enjoy. We also have a great park system here in Midland, and City Forest is one of our treasures. We've added new features. We're adding new signage to the trails. We have new furniture out in the chalet. We renovated the staircase and the toboggan run and added new lighting to that area. Now, how many of you have been out to City Forest and been tobogganing? Oh, yay, great. Now, if you haven't been, I encourage you to go. That is the way original toboggan runs were built. It's natural, it's fast, and we believe it is the last hand-packed, ice-covered toboggan run in the state of Michigan. When you're done tobogganing, you can walk over to the new patio, there's plenty of seating, and you can enjoy the fire pit that was built by Eric Parsons as his Eagle Scout project. We continue to do work down by the riverfront. In addition to removing the invasive plants, we've been building or renovating the platform so you can more easily see the river's beauty. This year, we repaved the area from the Tridge back to the Curry Parkway, and with a grant from the Community Foundation, we've added more paths to Chippewa Park. All of this should be ready for you to enjoy in the spring. Now, architecture is a very important part of our history. When you go to Central Park, you see the bandshell and you see King's Daughters. Both of those were designed by Alden Dow. Now, when you look behind it, you also see the Community Center. That, too, was designed by Alden Dow. Through the generosity of the Morning Rotary Club, we've added new play equipment to the park, and we've added many paths to make that area much more accessible. We're working with the Alden and Veda Dow Family Foundation, and soon you're going to see a new pavilion that will really celebrate our architectural heritage and give you some insight to what architecture and design is going to be like in the future. We're very excited about the school that's going to be going up across the street, and we think it's very appropriately named Central Park Elementary School. We are grateful for the foundations and the community organizations who funded many of these projects, because it shows that they believe we can be more. This year we're going to participate in America's in Bloom. And this is a national award program that promotes beautification. And it does it through education and community involvement. Now, why are we doing this? A few years ago, the Knight Foundation published a report. It was called The Soul of the Community: Why People Love Where They Live and Why Does It Matter? What they were looking at is what draws people to a community and what keeps them there. And they ranked 10 attributes, and number 3 on the list was aesthetics. We live in a beautiful community, and we need to promote it. I think you'll be hearing a lot more about this soon, and we hope that all of you will be a part of this. Public safety continues to be one of our valued services. Our fire department runs the gamut from putting out fires to dealing with toxic spills to saving kittens and trees. Everyone loves firemen. Sorry, Cliff. Sometimes people say, what do they do when they're not fighting fires? Well, they're practicing their skills, they're learning new techniques, and they're getting even better at what they do. We now have a team trained in unique rescue techniques. Now, if you saw the Midland paper last night, on the front page, there's a beautiful picture of our firefighters practicing rescue techniques, water rescue techniques. Kind of cold out there, but that's what they were doing. If Chief Coughlin was here, he might say the best way to fight a fire is to prevent a fire. So there are firefighters are also out in the community. They're performing fire inspections, they're meeting with seniors, and they're in classrooms working with children, teaching them about fire safety. Last year, our fire inspector, Josh Mosier, was named the 2015 Fire Inspector of the Year. We do, yeah. we do have an award-winning fire department, or police department, even though they're not so loved. And they, just wait, I'll tell you about their special program. Last year, they received the Outstanding School Resource Officer Award from Crime Prevention Association of Michigan. They received the Ann and Jim House Award for Community Collaboration from the Arc of Midland. And for the third year in a row, they were honored for being the top law enforcement torch run for Special Olympics in the state. Now let me tell you about one of their most successful programs. It's called Wanted Wednesday. Individuals who have an open warrant, who are wanted for questioning, or who may be persons of interest, are posted on Facebook on Wednesday. Therefore, Wanted Wednesday. This has a lot of community engagement, and I'd have to say it's probably one of the most anticipated posts of the week. We've had people who have turned themselves in at the law enforcement center after seeing the post. Now, I'd call that a successful program. Good government is transparent, and we work very hard at the city to get our message out. MCTV, we have a great website, we have an e-newsletter, we tweet, we're on Facebook. In addition to our main Facebook page, we have 9 department-specific pages. We have over 30,000 followers. Every year we send out a city calendar, which is an updated service guide. We send out newsletters throughout the year. We have people who are willing to take phone calls and answer questions. We're in the newspaper. I think we do a lot. So I get frustrated when someone says, I didn't know that. Nobody told me. Communication is really two-way. Good government is transparent. Good citizens need to access the information out there and engage. Now, we believe that we can be more, and we're very excited about a new communication platform that you'll be seeing later this year. It has 2 components. One is a very innovative input gathering tool, which will provide an opportunity for more two-way communication. And the other component of it is a finance component, which will provide even a higher level of our financial transactions. This is great new technology. If you're asking Selena, she would say it's going to be easy to access and easy to understand. Our community had received lots of nice recognition this past year, ranging from the New York Times covering the nature preschool out at Chippewa Nature Center. CNN was here covering the Santa School. I believe they called it the Harvard of Santa School. To Midland being named one of the top places in the state to start a business. It's truly very nice when we're recognized for the good work that we're doing. Now let me tell you about some collaborations that are going on in the community. And I would like to start with the Chamber and Midland Tomorrow and say thank you to your boards and staff for all the work that you put in this past year. We know that you worked very hard on that, and we appreciate that. This new organization that was creates a partnership that demonstrates what we do so well, and that is collaborate for what is the best future for our community. After a very long planning process and a national search, we now have Bill Allen. And I think after today, after his, 10th welcome now to Midland, he's officially feeling at home, I hope. We're glad you're here. Exploring Our Future is the community success plan for Midland County. Together, forward, bold. A place where everyone thrives is their vision. Teams met all last year to address these 9 areas. And what they talked about were, who are the stakeholders? What's going on out in the community? Where are the gaps? What are the overlaps? What strategies are needed for the future? An example of one of the projects that has come out of this work is the Winter Village that was held downtown this winter during the holiday season. And this was an idea that came out of the Arts, Culture, Entertainment, and Recreation Committee. They're going to continue to meet over the next year, and I'm sure you're going to see many more grassroots efforts. The Midland Career and College Access Network. For Midland to have a vibrant economy, and for us to attract and retain businesses to this area, we need to make sure that we have a strong workforce who is ready to meet the demands of the 21st century workplace. The UCAN, their goal is to get individuals to and through college, career, or technical training. Let me give you a statistic. Of adults aged 25 to 64 in Midland, only 42% have completed post-secondary education. It's their goal to raise that number to 60% by 2025. The Community Health Improvement Plan is coordinated by the Health and Human Service Council, and this was unveiled in January. This is a very wide-reaching plan that brings together 35 organizations that will address the health needs specific to our area. Its goal is to help us be a healthier community. I want you to stay tuned. You're going to hear lots more about it. I am sure there is going to be something for everyone that you can, and something for you to get involved in. Another new collaboration is the MSU STEM Center for the Great Lakes Bay region. This center will be opening up in the spring. It's going to be located in the former MMI building, and its purpose is to create more opportunities for teachers and to help students get excited about STEM education and STEM careers. So we understand the importance of that. And I think this collaboration shows that, and it was made possible through the generosity of our many family foundations and the Dow Chemical Company. We're a community of beautiful churches, but we're also a community that has a very engaged and diverse faith-based community. Not only do they nourish our hearts and our souls, they run food pantries, they work on habitat builds, they provide funds for individuals in need, and so much more. They're a very important part of our community safety net. A few years ago, they started a program that was called Midland Neighboring. And this isn't a program that was about building their congregations. It was really about strengthening our community. And what they said was this: if you're going to love your neighbor, you got to know who your neighbor is. So they encouraged their membership to go out and to meet their neighbors. Now, just imagine if all of us did that. The ultimate goal is for Midland to be a more welcoming community. Momentum Midland. Now, you heard me say this before, that downtown is our front porch. Successful communities need and want many partners. We celebrate the fact that Momentum Midland is active and engaged. We both want the same thing, a strong downtown, and we both believe that we can be more. Now, these collaborations that I just told you about are great examples, I think, of individuals and organizations working together because they already believe that we can be more. So now let's walk around the community and take a look at business. Chemical Bank. In January, Chemical Bank announced a proposed merger with Telmer Bank Corp. out of Troy. This merger will create a $16 billion bank, and it's going to be headquartered here in Midland. The combined entity would be called Chemical Bank, and it will become the largest bank in the state of Michigan. Next year, Chemical Bank celebrates their 100th anniversary. Ieuter Insurance is a great example of a business that's been around for a long time and gives back to the community. It was started in 1940 as the Robert T. Ferries Insurance Company. And over the years, it's gone through many iterations until Cal bought it in 1980s. Last year, they initiated a 75-day giving program to celebrate their 75th anniversary. If you fly fish, you know scientific anglers. Now, I've been there, and let me just say, it's impressive. It was started in 1945 by 3 guys who loved to fish and had a great idea. They took their Midland STEM education, applied it to fishing, and now they are a global leader in the fly fishing industry. In 2013, they were purchased by Orvis, and last year they celebrated their 70th anniversary. Midland Cogeneration Venture is the largest, I have to read this, largest natural gas-fired combined heat and electrical power generating plant in America. In America. And it's located right here in Midland. They are a major supplier of power to Michigan and the upper Midwest, and they also provide electricity and steam to major industrial customers located near their facility. The past year, they celebrated their 25th anniversary. Dow Chemical and Dow Corning. They are two of our largest employers, and now they're going to become one. Last year, their combined operations invested $214 million in their sites here, and their employees volunteered over 25,000 hours of their time for community projects. Midland Ford moved out to Joe Mann Boulevard, and this expansion resulted in 26 new jobs with 10 to 15 more to come in the future. I think they were good stewards. When they demolished their building, they left no mess behind. Now their former site is ready to be something more. Tourism. Last year, $27,668,300 was spent on overnight stays in Midland. That is up $5.5 million from the previous year. Northwood University, they hosted a Gus Macker again last year. It was the 4th largest in the United States. Their enrollment is up 10% for 2 years in a row, and they completed the renovations and expansion of the Bennett Sports Center. This spring, they will complete the construction of their new DeVos Graduate School of Management. Things have been busy at the Medical Center. Last year, they celebrated 2 years of their affiliation with the University of Michigan Health System. Now, this affiliation has resulted in many new programs being offered at Mid-Michigan, and that benefits all of us. Last month, they announced that they will be affiliating with Alpena Regional Medical Center, and last week, they found out that they were the recipient of 2 very prestigious national awards. Congratulations. Dow Gardens, the Center for the Arts, and the library are going to provide us with a summer of Seuss. At the gardens, you're going to see Seuss-like gardens and many statues. At the Center for the Arts, there's going to be a special exhibit of the secret art of Dr. Seuss, and I understand there will be a few surprises that are going to be coming along with that. And at the library, it'll be all about Seuss literature. And you'll see Dr. Seuss move downtown also. The theme of our sculptures this year is whimsical. These businesses and organizations have been reinventing themselves over the year because they know that that's what they need to do to remain competitive. And I think they motivate us and say, we can be more. So in the words of Robert Frost, in the conclusion of his famous poem, 2 roads diverged in the wood and I. We took the road less traveled by, and that made all the difference. The road that we choose will make all the difference. We are not afraid of being uncomfortable. We know what we need to do. Working together, moving forward, being bold. Making Midland a great place to make a living and a great place to have a life. Thank you.
Introduce our member of the quarter. So please give him a round of applause, Mr. Bill Allen.
Fantastic speech. And one thing that you did not bring up, which I'm going through right now, is the Midland Citizens Academy. Talking about a great way to learn about the city and all the intricacies in a short period of time. Perfect for me being new, but perfect for anybody as well. So thank you for allowing me take part. Okay, so each quarter, the Chamber is proud to select one outstanding organization or individual to honor as the member of the quarter at quarterly events such as today's. So the first quarter nominee, or honoree, I apologize, she's been a tremendous asset helping our newest members be acquainted with the Chamber. And for those of you who know the Chamber, if we can get a new member in and keep them for a year or two, they're pretty solid for the long run, so it's really important to have that kind of service. So our member of the quarter currently serves as an ambassador. In fact, she's been involved with the ambassadors for 14 years. She's also served as the vice chair and the chair of the ambassadors. She gets involved with the Chamber in a couple other ways too. She helps out with mock interviews like we had last week at high schools for students learning how to go forward with that kind of thing. I think you all know probably the first time that you sat across the table in an interview, it's pretty scary stuff. And by us providing that service to high school students, it kind of gets them ready when it really counts. She's also on the alumni panel for Leadership Midland. She's also been part of the Government Issues Committee, also former chair of the Chamber and on the Executive Committee. This is probably kind of narrowing it down. So I'm not sure how she does her day job because she gives of so much of her time to the Chamber. And I know that she also likes to run and play golf, and I don't know how you find time for that either. But with that service to the Chamber and the community, I think she's a perfect honoree for the first quarter. Please help me congratulate Shelley Hobbs. Vice President from Isabel Bank, please come on up here and receive the award.
It's really oddly quiet right now. Congratulations. Thank you very much. Thank you, Shelley.
Thanks, Bill. Congratulations, Shelley. Ladies and gentlemen, that is your first quarter quarterly luncheon, and we invite you back next quarter. Also, Wake Up Midland is April 1st. That is spring break weekend. We would invite you to bring your children if you're sticking around town for spring break. So bring them to Wake Up on April 1st. Have a great afternoon.